Looks theory is oftentimes seen as something negative because we are judging people based on their looks. But even if we don't consciously judge people by their looks, we will still do it subconsciously, as I spoke about in my previous video on the halo effect. A quick summary of the halo effect. So if we look at someone and we feel attracted to them, then we feel good. And if you feel good about someone, any thoughts and ideas that are associated with that emotion, we will attach to that person. So if you feel good about someone, then things such as high status, making good money, being a nice person, we will attach that to that person. The same can be said for the opposite. If you feel bad about someone, we'll oftentimes think negatively about them as well. And this is what the halo effect is about. And this is why it's important to bring it to the conscious mind, because if we don't, it's just gonna be stuck in the subconscious mind. Even if we don't judge people consciously, we will still judge people subconsciously. I think it's better to bring what's in the darkness to the light so that we can understand it, rather than just operating on it without understanding it. We tend to describe bad people the same way. There's a reason why monsters look the way they do, because that's how we expect evil to look. But this is not always the case. Sometimes monsters are not monsters, and the same can be said for people that look extremely good. They could be monsters themselves. What's on the inside of someone's mind, their intentions, doesn't always show up in their physical appearance. When we operate based on how we feel about someone, it leaves us open to manipulation. When we are able to understand our emotions, that's when we can start to detach ourselves from them and operate within reason. Just because something is tempting doesn't mean it's a good thing. And the same thing can be said for people. Just because they are attractive doesn't mean they are good people. There are good-looking psychopaths out there that will take advantage of their looks to exploit people. There are serial killers that are good-looking, that have used their looks to lure people. You have probably heard about the bad boy gets the girl and bad boy breaks the girl's heart. And this is an example of good-looking people taking advantage of their looks and then just treating people like garbage because they can. We tend to treat people differently based on their looks. The halo effect. We tend to treat attractive people better. Good-looking people tend to face less consequence for their actions. We tend to allow them to do things that we would otherwise probably beat people up for doing if they weren't attractive. And because of this, we allow it to grow. We allow this type of behavior to grow. To summarize, it's not so much that we want to judge people based on their looks. It's rather that we want to understand how we judge people based on their looks.